Hello everyone, this video has been brought to you by Unacademy. My name is Mohit Gupta and in this video I will be talking about picture sequencing problems. This is the second video in the same series. The previous video was on picture sequencing problems of the type linear where there was no grid. In this video we will be talking about picture sequencing problems with a grid based pattern. So let us begin. This is the most generic type of problem that you are seeing here, where a 3 by 3 grid is given and one of the elements is missing and you have to find out the missing element now. So the simple trick is, as in any picture sequencing problem, is find out the pattern. So but in this 3 by 3 grid we find out the pattern either in rows or in columns or both. Rows, columns or both. So we always begin with finding the pattern in rows because they are the most generic form of patterns. So let us see. We see that in the first row, first column, here the triangle is there. This triangle is repeated in the first row, second column, and then it vanishes. In the first row, second column, this vertical bar with a circle figure is there, and the same is repeated in the first row, third column. Let us see the row second. In the second row, first column, we have this square with a diagonal. In the second row, second column, we have this same figure with a plus sign inside, and in the final row, final column, we have only the plus sign. So we see that each figure is repeated twice and then it vanishes. So in the third row we have, in the third row, second column, we have this figure. This cross inside a square and this curve and the square has been repeated. So the only thing left will be this cross. That is option number 4. Simple enough. That is how you solve most of the grid problems. You try to find the pattern in rows, you try to find the pattern in columns, and if it still does not work out, you try to find the pattern simultaneously in both. So let us look at one more type of problem. Here we see that a circle is present with some spikes. 4 spikes, 3 spikes, 2 spikes. This problem is a special one because it is most easy to solve problem. What property makes it most easy to solve? Here either you start with rows or with columns, you will definitely reach the correct answer. Why? Because we have the same pattern in the rows and the columns. That is 4 spikes, 3 spikes, 2 spikes, and in the rows 4 spikes, 3 spikes and 2 spikes. So we can easily guess the missing figure. That will be 3 spikes, because in this column 2 and 4 are already present, and in this row 2 and 4 are already present. So this figure number 1 will be our answer. Simple enough. This was a bonus question. If you get this kind of question, feel happy in the examinations. Next pattern is a slightly tough questions that are not the regular 3 by 3 grids. These are 2 by 2 grids. Because they have less number of figures, to get the pattern right, they are tougher than the normal ones. So let us examine. The first box contains a vertical line on the top and a triangle on the bottom left corner, and this transforms into a triangle on the top left, a triangle on the bottom right, and double vertical bar on the bottom. So we see that this vertical bar has moved to bottom and doubled itself, and this triangle has moved to this direction and this direction. one edge each. So 1 unit it has moved. And to find the correct answer, let us draw the problem figure row. We have this given figure, so as per the rule we will move this to here and double it, and this circle will move to these directions, so this and this. So the answer figure will be option 3. So once again, carefully review what we just did. We found the pattern from just this figure and this transformed figure, and then applied the pattern simply to this problem figure. Simple enough. Let us see one more problem of a different pattern. These problems are a little bit tricky ones because they are not too mainstream to think about. So let us see. In the first row, let us start with rows. It is always good to start with rows because most of the problems are based on patterns in rows. So let us start with rows. We see a circle with these curves. Again, in the second column we see a circle with these curves, and in the third column we see a circle with these curves. We know nothing about the pattern yet, but let us try to carefully examine. Let us search for common parts in the figures of 1, 2 and 3 column. So we see that this circle is common, the center is common, and this curve is common to all the three. So far so good. We have spotted a pattern. Let us try if this common area rule applies to row 2 also. We have this in the answer figure, so this should be there in each of the figures and it is present everywhere. So this rule is correct. Following this rule, we will find the common figure in these two columns. We have this circle center common, so in this figure it will be just the circle center, that is option 3. So find the common part is what I am going to name these type of problems. Let us look at one more type of problem, that is these type of problems. Again a 3x3 grid is given and you have to find some pattern somehow and find this unknown. We have in the first row, first column, a plus sign, then we have a plus and a cross, and in the third we have this plus and 4 circles around it. So plus sign is in the all three. Let us examine second row. We have this figure in all three columns, so this figure will be repeated in the answer figure for this, that is for sure. Now let us see which circles will be inscribed inside, outside. Let us see all this. We see that in the third column, first row and second row, circles are placed outside. Circles are placed outside of the figure, not inside. So the only option with the circle placed outside the figure is option 2, and that is our correct answer. So the rule is simple. Find for patterns in rows. Works out very well. If it does not work out, find the pattern in the columns. If it still does not work out, try to find the pattern in both. If it still doesn't work out, the question is not worth your time in the aptitude examination, just leave it. If you cannot do it, most of the people will also be not able to do it, so it won't affect much. But follow these rules and you will be fine with picture sequencing grid problems. Let us see one more example. Here it is. We see that in the first row these are the 3 column figures. This arrow gets inverted and inverted again. This arrow is same and then it gets inverted. So let us see if this is the same thing that's happening in second row also or not. This arrow gets inverted and inverted again. This is retained and then gets inverted. Correct. So we have found our pattern very easily. Very nice. So we will apply this pattern now to third row. That is, we will invert this arrow and retain this arrow. So this will be the answer figure. That is option 1. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and learned something, learned the concept, learned how to find patterns and how to start, where to begin in a grid sequencing problems. So you must subscribe to the channel youtube.com/unacademy for more videos. More videos in the same series for maximizing your scores in aptitude examinations are how to solve coding decoding problems and how to solve picture sequencing problems, the first video of this series. If you still have any doubts or queries, you can ask me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is hi_Mohit Gupta, and you can also tweet to the Unacademy, or you can simply leave a comment in the comment section of this video. Also, if you want to watch videos of any specific topic that we have not yet covered, you can always give us suggestions in the comment section of the video. Thanks a lot. Keep watching.